Hello and welcome back to Ravenstorm Studios, and today we will be reading Feathers and Elsewhere University Tale Part 9. Just a quick disclaimer before we hop into the video. There will be some mild to moderate coarse language, so if you are a child, please check with a parent or guardian before continuing to watch this. Thank you, and without further ado, let's jump in. 13 wakes up first. Sleeping on dirt sucks but he was exhausted enough last night. Does wherever they are even have night and day like a regular world? Whatever, that's how he's gonna think of it. That comfort didn't really factor in. Still doesn't really. Except for how Cat Eyes, yeah, that Cat Eyes. And man, has he heard things about her. But also, those things were all from upper year frat boys. So he gets the feeling he should maybe not repeat any of that. Or think of it, if at all possible. Is still monopolizing his leg as her pillow, and his leg has gone so numb that if he couldn't see it, he wouldn't be able to tell he actually still had one. He kind of wishes it was his arm, because it still hasn't healed and hurts like an effer. Though it's well enough on it, though it's well enough on its way that he knows he's gonna have some gnarly scars by the time it does, which he's not particularly excited about because that means the next 3 years of locker room talk is going to focus on him, and he doesn't. 13 makes himself take a deep breath. Scars are cool. He'll just have to make up something believable, or maybe he'll go the other route. A wildly different and equally unlikely story each time someone asks him about them. That's always a fun party trick, at least from the outside. Fuck. He takes another deep breath and holds it in until his lungs burn. Maybe one of the girls knows some weird skincare tricks for getting rid of scars. There's probably a weird skincare trick for getting rid of scars. Yeah, maybe he'll ask when the others wake up. Curled up on the other side of Crow Girl, should he be calling her Feathers? She introduces herself as Crow Girl, and that's what Cat calls her, but not Jenna calls her Feathers, and it kind of seems like the difference between them, calling his high school teammates by their last name versus their first name. On the other side of Crow Girl, possibly Feathers, not Jenna, shifts and grumbles a little, and 13's heart rate just about triples. Fucking heck, that noise wasn't natural. Maybe he won't ask after all. She sits up, stretches her arms over her head, slow and languid. She sighs as she lets her arms down, and then she's staring at him. Oh God. Morning, he offers. Yes, her brow furrows, and she looks up pointedly at the ambiguously lit sky. Pseudo sky? Whatever. He's in weird fairyland, and if normal things have different names here, he doesn't know them. So he's just gonna stick with familiar words. She glances back at him, eyebrow raised. Well, we slept, now we're awake. Fuck. I mean, that's close enough to being morning. I mean, oh God, why is he like this? Mercifully, she just hums and nods. The silence stretches into something truly, truly uncomfortable, past uncomfortable, possibly verging on torturous. Nope, 13 thinks. Nothing verging about this. Torturous has come and gone. He darts his eyes towards the other two girls, but no, they're still both dead to the world. Oh God, what? That was an awful phrasing. Krogel is still injured. Why did he have to think that? He's just about to open his mouth to say something, anything, when not Jenna perks up. So, she chirps at him, you kept me upright after I tripped, when we were running in the forest. It catches him off guard, but hell, anything to stop the awkwardness. Yeah, you caught Cat Eyes, right? Before that, didn't you? Her eyes narrow as she nods slowly, like she's looking for the trick. The awkwardness isn't gone. The awkwardness is not gone. Mission abort. 13 squishes that train of thought with a supreme effort of will. No freaking out right now. Stop it. I did, yes, she says, dragging out the vowels. Why is that relevant? 13 has no idea what this conversation is even about, much less what is or isn't relevant to it. Well, he stalls. You brought up stumbling, and you caught her right before I caught you, so. Not Jenna has a really weird look in her eyes, like she's weighing his worth, contemplative in a distant alien sort of way. It's actually really similar to the way the cheerleaders looked at. Nope, not that. A bad thought. Not thinking of that. No. Supreme effort of will. 13 jiggles his knee just a little, trying to restore blood flow without letting the changeling see. Does she have sharp teeth? He's never noticed. She doesn't have claws, though, so there's that at least. And now that he's had a few hours of sleep, he can probably outrun her. Not Jenna interrupts his spiraling thoughts. So you helped me because I helped Cat Eyes? She asks, speaking slowly, like she's trying the words on for a fit. Yeah, that seems like it's maybe the right answer. It's only sort of a lie. Like if she just left Cat Eyes, or like had there been had been the reason she tripped, he probably wouldn't have, but that would have been really shitty, so he's really glad that isn't the thing that happened. Oh God, she's still staring at him. 13 jiggles his leg harder. Oh God, pins and needles. All of existence is suffering. The Buddhists on campus are right, and he's going to convert as soon as they get back. And Cat Eyes comes awake with a gimlet eye and a muttered, Who's dying? Why do I care? 13 is a solid 87% sure that the only reason the frat guys who say things about Cat Eyes are still alive to say them is because Cat Eyes has no idea about any of it and quietly resolves that she won't find out from him. At least, not until after the season. If she finds out he knew and didn't say anything, she might think he's okay with that kind of talk and include him in whatever awful punishment she'll inevitably dole out. He should maybe just leave the frat, and possibly the football team. That honestly seems like the smartest move. Ah ha ha, Cat Eye is so funny. He actually says, ah ha ha. Ugh. You shouldn't. You should definitely wake up and join the conversation. Not Jenna and I are having about how we are running for our lives not all that long ago. She crumbles and rubs her face against his leg until he makes an uncomfortable noise in the back of his throat, and she realizes what she's doing, then obligingly sits up. Running for our lives. Right, right. I tripped, didn't I? She muses and shakes herself a bit and cracks her neck. 13 shivers a little bit. Yeah, this needs settled, she says, and then adds, Good thought, 13. She even leans over to pat his shoulder, perfunctorily, like sort of like she's trying to pet a dog, but mostly is just very bad at it. 13 is still confused. Why was that a good thought? What needs settled? He wishes crow feathers. Can he just abbreviate to crow feathers? Should wake up. She at least sometimes remembers to explain what's going on. Cat Eyes moves so she's sitting cross-legged, facing not Jenna. She twists first to one side, then the other, stretches her arms over her head, rolls her shoulders a few times, and ends leaning forward with her hands on her knees, staring intently. All right, Changeling, she says, eyes narrowed. Let's do this. Is this some sort of negotiation? 13 wonders. Is that what he's seeing? That almost makes sense, provided you don't take catching a friend when they fall while you're all being chased by crazy fairies who want to kill and or possibly eat you as something you just do, but instead as a capital F favor. Which is probably the case, which is stupid. Why is helping out something that needs to be monetized? Like, obviously he helped, not Jenna. Why wouldn't he? Except apparently that wasn't the obvious course of action. Apparently that's worth the changeling pinning him with her weird lit up eyes and asking why he. Oh, oh. Did he just talk Notenna out of owing him a favor? 13 considers for a moment and then decides it's probably for the best. What little googling he's done has told him the whole debts and favors thing sometimes doesn't end happily for the mortal in question. He tunes back in, sort of excited to see how this whole negotiation thing is going to shake out. But Notenna is sitting with her shoulders hunched, looking a little nervous, a little disgruntled. Her eyes dart between 13 and Cat Eyes, back and forth, back and forth. Finally she huffs, turning her head away. There is no debt, she says, and immediately hunches her shoulders even further. Wait, what? 13 is pretty sure that's not what she was supposed to say. Apparently Cat Eyes agrees, because she pops out a flit. What? As well? Still not looking at them, Notenna shrugs and just repeats herself. 13 glances sidelong at Cat Eyes, who has narrowed her eyes even further. Say it a third time, she says, low and challenging. Yeah, challenging. Like a dare. Like she doesn't think Notenna will. Notenna, for her part, snaps her head around to glare. Once, twice, and thrice. Once and twice I have said, and now thrice again I say, there is no debt, there is no debt, there is no debt that needs to be paid, she snaps, looking harried and haunted, words echoing strangely and heavily in the air for what feels like so long. Well then, Cat Eyes says. Notenna makes a face at her, and Cat Eyes makes one back, and that seems to be that. 13 kind of wants to go back to sleep. Next to him, Crow Girl moans low in her throat. Thank you for listening. Today I decided that this would be a bit too much to record in one go, so I'll record it in two parts, and this will be the first part. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye.